Hi Parkodi, am I audible?
Yeah, sir, it is audible, sir.
Yeah, how are you now?
Yes, sir, I'm good. What about you, sir?
Yeah, you're doing good. So now it got recovered completely. The injuries happened to you got recovered completely.
Yes, I will completely, sir.
Okay, nice, nice. So I'm just sharing the screen.
Oh,
Let me know is it visible or not.
okay. Yeah, yes, sir, it is visible,
It's
sir.
visible, right? Okay, fine. So in
Yes,
the last class, we saw the complete sales order process, right? No? So complete cycle, we saw the sales order processing cycle. And I told you that in this particular class, we're going to see the reporting part and we go for the next topic, right?
okay.
Yeah, go to the daybook report.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes.
We are entering the purchase and sales reports in our tally.
Hmm.
That having the credit times, for example, 15 days or 70 days,
Hmm.
how we can remember that due date
No, we're
in
coming for that. Next topic we have bill wise details. So that is the part of bill wise details. So today we're going to start that bill wise details only. Okay. So in this particular
okay, okay,
topic, it's
sir.
going to
Okay,
cover so how to maintain the credit days or a
okay,
credit period and how to track those informations.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah, fine. So we recorded the sales order cycle, whereas first transaction was sales order. We recorded that. Then we record the delivery note. We delivered the goods to Vivekananda High School. Thereafter, so when they rejected the goods, so we got the goods back. So we got the rejection in. We passed the rejection in. Then we made a. Then we issued the sales invoice to them. So sales invoice, then credit note. Finally, we passed the receipt transaction. Right. So these are the transactions which we
Yes, sir.
recorded in the sales order cycle or sales order processing. Do you have any questions in this?
No, sir.
No. Fine. Now you saw that how to maintain the sales order processing and the purchase order processing both, and you saw the report last time, the purchase order processing reports. Now you can see the reports about sales order processing. So you should navigate to display more reports, go to the statements of inventory, and you can see here we have the report. So first and foremost, you can see the outstanding reports, the sales order outstandings we have here. So if you drill down, so and if you select the all orders or a specific ledger name or a group name or item name, anything based on your requirement, you can select, and you can see that how many are outstanding against the sales order. So order number 1. So here, as we raise the sales order for 30 quantities, but balance quantity left is 3 quantities. So nothing but we made a sale, or we settled them only 27 quantities, and we collected the amount for 27 quantities only. Whereas 3 are balance left. So same thing we saw actually in the purchase order processing as well. And if you want detailed information, you can click a Alt F1 or Alt F5. So as you do like this, so you can see the detailed view, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So this is how we can maintain the sales order processing. So you can navigate to this report and you can check. So do you getting the same?
Sir,
Yes.
I can't hear the last sentence, sir. What you said last.
Please navigate to this report and let me know. So do you getting this report properly? You getting the same figures, same values, everything? Check and let me know.
Okay, sir. Sir.
Yes, you checked the reports.
Just a minute.
You got the navigation, so you can go through navigation, or you can use go to feature and search there the sales orders outstandings. You can search even in go to feature,
Okay.
right? You can see sales
Yeah,
orders
sir.
due only. And for rest of
It's
the
not.
OHs, as you can see the outstanding here, all orders together, ledger wise orders, group wise orders, item wise, or stock group or category wise. Thereafter, you want to see the sales bill spending. So you can navigate here and you can see here means sales order has been issued, sales order has been recorded, but after that the sales has been not issued at, sales bills are pending. So at that time you can see the sales bill spending from here. Then after, if you want to see other registers like sales order register, and you want to see the delivery note register, etc., so you can navigate. So inventory books, you can see here we have sales order book, delivery note register, rejection in register. So these all registers will help you, as you will get inventory OHs and order OHs under the inventory books. In the same way, to get the accounting OH registers, go to account books and you can see here sales register we have, credit note register we have, and other registers we saw while passing a purchase order processing transactions, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the registers of transactions, if you want to see the registers of transactions, those are, if those are the inventory transactions, go to inventory books. If those are accounting transactions, go to account books. So you can go to any of these inventory books or account books and you can see the transactions OCHA type wise, or you can see the register OCHA type wise. So now navigate to the inventory books and you can see sales order book is available there. You can drill down in the respective month, you will get the respective month all order transactions of sales. As we have only one entry in this month, we're getting only one entry displayed here.
Okay, sir.
And if you go back, you can see the delivery note register as well. So we have the delivery note register, and finally another inventory, that is a the job sorry, rejection in register. Did you got this info?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, same, check account books as well, credit note registers, sales registers, and receipt registers. And finally, if you want to see the total transactions of a company after completion of the sales order cycle, we can navigate to the statistics. So I'll use go to feature, which is wow feature of Tally. So you can go for the statistics and you can see here total in our company books from 1st April to 2nd October. We have 36 transactions and you can see the master's right hand side. So do you have same number?
Yes, sir.
You to have save number.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how the reports will reflect after the transactions of sales order cycle. And for our satisfaction to check or to reconcile your company books with my company books or your transaction with my transactions, we can go to statistics and we can reconcile. So reconciliation is nothing but just comparing and identifying the any particular missings are there, that we call reconciliation. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now you check the transactions, your statement is matching with my statement, all transactions are perfect. Now we'll go for the next topic. So as I conveyed you, yes, we're going to discuss now about the quotation part, then we'll go for the bill wise details. So as I conveyed you earlier, so in the complete purchase order processing and sales order processing, you saw the complete transactions. But before raising a purchase order processing, the buyer will ask for the quotation to the supplier. It means before taking a place of any purchase order cycle or sales order cycle, the first we should know about the quotation. I told you orally about that. The quotation will be issued by the supplier first. The buyer will request for the quotation and supplier will issue the quotation first. And once the supplier issued the quotation to the buyer and the buyer satisfied with that particular products and price everything, then he will raise the purchase order. It will become the sales order for the supplier. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Up to here it's clear to you, right?
Sir?
Up to here it's clear to you, right?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Yeah. Now in Tally we can generate quotation as well. So not only printing the sales invoices, delivery challans or receipts, etc. Yes, you can generate the quotation in Tally. Now I told supplier will issue the quotation. How do he issue the quotation? Whether you need to use other application? No. In Tally only you can generate the quotation based on the request of buyer, and you can print the same and you can hand over to the buyer. Now how can we maintain the quotation in Tally? So first of all, what is quotation you should know, and how to generate the quotation we'll see in Tally product. So you can see the quotation is a document that supplier submits to the potential client with the proposed price for the supplier's goods or services based on the certain conditions. So it's a in the quotation the details will be there for what goods what price is quoted, so what price is chargeable, or for services also how much charges or service charges are applicable. So these informations will be available in the quotation. As I'm given the example in the last classes as a menu in the hotel. So we'll see the menu in the hotel, then we raise the order. Correct? No. In the same way,
Yes.
in the trading or in the service sectors, so supplier will issue the quotation with these details. Based on that, the if buyer is satisfied, yes, he will raise the order and he will buy the goods. So now we got to know what is quotation and how can we generate the same in the Tally Prime. So we'll see that it's very simple. So if anyone asking quotation to you, just go to the sales order transaction. So just pass a sales order transaction and you have to mark it as a optional. We have an option called control L optional. If you do this optional, what will happen? So I'll just show you. I'm already marked optional. You can pass transaction and then you can mark it as a optional, or first mark it as a optional and then pass a transaction. So anything you can do, no problem. Now assume that I'm getting another order from the Vivekananda High School. I'll take Vivekananda High School. Means it's not an order. They're asking me to give a quotation. Okay. So I'll just give the QT number 1. QT number 1. Here I'll take same study chairs. Okay, assume that now they're raising order for cellar water bottles. I'll not take study chairs, cellar water bottles I'll take. So quantity for 100. So they raising a order for 100 quantities. Means, sorry, they asking a quotation for 100 quantities. Last time we charged how much? Okay, we given the cost, but we not given the selling price, right?
Okay.
We purchased for 220 rupees per bottle. Now we'll fix the selling price as 250. So now you can pass the entry and mark it as a optional, or first mark optional and pass a entry and save it and do page up, then take a printout, control P, and you can see the title is showing as a quotation. You can see the preview, even the preview show as a quotation. Simple. Mark the sales order transaction as a optional by clicking on the control L, so it will become the quotation of a books. What is this optional option? Why this option is given as a optional? Any transaction we don't want to reflect in the company books of accounts, then you can mark the transaction as an optional transaction. You can see that name only saying as it's an optional voucher. So you can see that while filling any form, you'll be having option called optional. Means you can fill also, you can ignore also. It won't be mandatory thing. In the same way, in the tally, any transaction you don't want to add into the books of accounts and you want to record for the other purposes, then you can mark it as a optional. So the shortcut key is control L. Again, you want to mark it as a regular, you want to bring the transaction which is optional, which is not the part of books. You want to bring that particular transaction into the books, you can mark as a regular, again control L. Vice versa, optional and regular you can do using the option control L, control L. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You to come to the sales order transaction now, and first mark it as an optional and record this transaction. And for your reference, you can give the narration. Quotation generated for Vivekananda High School. Let me know once done.
Yes, sir, it is good.
Okay, so have you taken print and checked the title of the document? Take a print, control P, and go to preview and zoom it and check the title of the document. You should get as a quotation. If you not mark optional, you won't get quotation, you will get here as a sales order.
Sir, you sales order. Just on the sales order.
Then you not marked as a optional. That's what I'm telling you. You should mark as a optional. Click Control L and make sure status is showing optional here. When it is optional, only then you'll be able to print as quotation.
Yes, sir. I
Yes.
understand.
So this is how you can generate the quotation. So here we'll get a question actually. Why I have to mark every time the sales order as a optional? So will I get So how I'm getting the voucher types for all the different types of vouchers. Like that, I want to get the voucher type quotation as well. By that, it will be easy to record the transaction always under the voucher type called quotation. So instead of marking Control L manually, I need to select the option directly the quotation voucher type. Like that, I need one particular feature or a option in product. At that time, what we can do, yes, instead of marking a sales order as a optional, we can create the new voucher type. So as I told you in the in second day class, we can create any voucher types or we can create any masters. So by default, we'll be having a 2 ledgers, 28 groups and 24 voucher types. You know that. So by default, we'll be having these masters. But if you want more, yes, we can create. So from under the masters, so creation and voucher type, I can create the quotation here. You can see that I'll give the same spelling, but you don't accept why. You'll come to know now. So I'm giving the quotation here showing name already exists. Enter the different name. Because Tally is defaultly configured. If you pass a transaction of sales order, it will become the sales order voucher. And if you mark that sales order voucher as an optional, then it will become quotation. So already the Tally is configured like that. When you mark optional in a sales order voucher, it will become by default quotation only. Yes or no?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because of that we're getting this particular error. Name already exists, enter different name. So here I can't give the quotation name as it is, because by defaultly when you mark sales order as optional, it will understand as a quotation only. So just I had apostrophe or something, I have to make a small changes in the spelling.
Okay.
I'm just adding apostrophe quotation. Now it will take under the select the type of voucher, sales order only, and you have to enable the option here, make this voucher type as a optional by default. If you enable this option, it will understand when and all you will select this voucher type as a quotation. By default, it will mark as a optional. By that, it will always print as a quotation. No need to mark manually optional by clicking Ctrl L. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you to create this voucher type and enable the option.
Sir, I think method of voucher numbering.
No, don't touch any other options which I not showed you. Okay. As you seeing in the display, you leave the options as it is. So which I showed you, enable only that option. That is optional by default. That you have to enable and save it. Don't touch other options.
Okay.
Now what we can do, we can go to the vouchers creation, and if you go to the F10, you can see you're getting quotation also in the list of voucher type. Select the quotation. Now you can see status will be by default optional. Just pass the entry and take a print, so we'll get as a quotation only as a heading. You don't need to mark manually optional. Got now? Yes. So this is all about the quotation. If you have any questions about the quotation, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll go for the next. Can we go for next feature? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, it's audible, but
Sir, can
volume
I?
is very low.
Yes.
I'm not getting your voice clearly. Its volume is very low.
Okay. Uh, okay, sir. We can start this next topic.
Okay, fine then. Now the thing is the bill-wise details. So we have the another highlighted feature in the Tally product, so that we call bill-wise details. So this is one of the feature where we can maintain the track of all the transactions, and we can have a track of all the outstanding transactions or bills. So you can see that. So bill-wise details is a feature which will help to have a track of each and every outstanding transaction or a bill. So we can have a track of each and every transaction or a bill. By that, what will happen? We'll be getting the results on our fingertips. For example, now you saw in the purchase order processing and the sales order processing, what you will do, first you will record the sales order transaction. The sales order transaction will be tracked in the delivery note. Delivery note will be tracked in the rejection in. The rejection will be tracked in the sales. You saw that particular cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
So with the help of the order number, we are tracking the bill after bill. In the same way, when you maintain only the accounting transactions like purchases and payments, receipts and sales, or purchases, debit notes and payments, sales, credit notes and receipts. So even here we can have a tracking option. So not only with the complete purchase order cycle and sales order cycle, even when we not raise the orders, we directly record the purchase transactions, debit note transactions and the payment transactions. Or when we directly record sales transactions, credit note transactions and receipt transactions, even there we can have a tracking option. So to have a tracking option, and by using the tracking option, we can identify that how many bills are pending or how many bills are outstanding as on what date. So this all can be used, or this all can be tracked clearly using the feature called bill-wise details. You got what is bill-wise details feature is?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now we'll see that the types of references in bill-wise details. You'll come to know, just understand the information what I conveyed you. Practically we'll do now, you'll get more clarity on the particular this feature. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see now types of references in the bill-wise details. So we have 4 types of references for the feature called bill-wise details. First reference is advanced reference, second one new reference, and third one against reference, the final one on account. So total we have these 4 references under the bill-wise details feature. So what are these references are? What is advanced reference? So this is the reference we can use when you make any advance payments or when you make advance receipts. So you not made any particular purchase or a sale yet, but before making a purchase you make a payment in advance to book the any product to you. So when you make advance payments to your suppliers, and in that payment transaction you can take the reference called advance reference. And in the same way receipts also, you collecting the advance from your customers before making a sale of goods or services, you receiving a advance. So when you receive a advance, then you can take a reference as advance reference. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is the first one. Second one is a new reference. So for all new transactions, the think part, here what we can say, you passing any new transaction, so which are not settlement transactions. It can be a purchase transaction, it can be a sales transaction. If you pass any new purchase or sales transactions which are not part of any older transactions, then you can take a new reference. Simple, any purchase bills or sales bills which are new transactions, at that time you should take a new reference. Next, against reference. So this is for the dependent transactions. We already passed the purchase or sales transactions. Against the purchase, I'll make a payment. Now, payment I'm making because I made a purchase earlier. Means now payment is a dependent transaction on the purchase. As I made a purchase, I'm doing a payment. So in the dependent transactions or entries, we'll take a against reference. Another example, I made a sales earlier. Against the sales, I'm making a receipt today. So in the receipt transaction now, I can take against reference because against the sales, I'm passing a receipt transaction. So like this, any transactions are dependent on any other transactions which are recorded earlier. We need to select advanced reference. Got this? Against reference. You got the against reference?
Sir, please explain once again, sir.
I'll repeat once again.
Against reference only.
Against reference. Okay. This is for the mainly
Yes.
dependent transactions or entries. Any transaction is dependent on any previous transaction. Now, as I told you, we make a purchase transactions. Assume that we make today, but we're making a payment tomorrow. So now I'll pass a purchase transaction by taking new reference because it's a new bill. But tomorrow I'll make a payment, right? In a payment, I'll take a against reference because against the purchase made yesterday, we make a payment. Yesterday means tomorrow.
Okay.
When you pass transaction tomorrow, yesterday will be today, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you make any transactions which are dependent on the previous transactions, or we track the previous transactions in a new transactions, in that transactions we'll take a against reference. As I told, against the purchases, if you make a payment, in a payment take against reference, or against the sales, if you make a receipts, so in the receipts you take a against reference. So without making a purchase or sales, if you make a receipts and payments, it will become the advance reference at that time. Yes or no? Without sales and purchases, it will become advance payment or advance receipt. After making a sales or purchase, if we pass the receipts or payments, it will become the against reference. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Finally, on account. So this is the feature. So when we are not sure whether it is an advanced reference, whether it's a new reference, or whether it's an against reference, for time being, you can place the transaction on hold by taking on account. So when we are not clear, so we should get clarity by the higher level, or we can say that I am the new person in a company. So I am passing a receipt or payment transaction or any transaction. So I am not clear about against which transaction this entry has been recorded. Whether it's an advance or against or a new reference, I'm not clear. So I want to confirm with my the management team or my team leader. So till then, I can place a transaction on a hold by taking the reference as on account. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these are the 4 references which we can use in the bill-wise details. Any questions up to here?
Okay.
Fine. So now we'll go for the next. Next means like I'll just show you that how can we use these features now. So practically we'll see how we can use these references. It will become more easier for you now once we start using these features. So first and foremost, to use that features, what enabling we have to do. So we can say the heading here. So enabling the bill-wise details to get bill-wise details screen in a sales, purchases, and credit and debit note transactions. So if you want to get the bill-wise details feature screen, so first you have to enable in F11 features the maintain bill-wise entry. First enable this option, maintain bill-wise entry. Next enable the option in the ledger, in the party ledger, maintain balances bill by bill. Second step, you have to perform this. And third step, so in the purchase or sales transactions, you should go to your full configuration and you should disable the option use default bill-wise details for bill allocation. These 3 steps we have to follow. I'll show you practically now. First and foremost, go to F11 features, click on the F11, enable the option enable bill-wise entry, first one. So you to do this configuration now, go to F11 features,
Okay, sir. Enable bill wise entry. Then
Save it. Control A.
enable cost and
No, not
control.
required. Not required. Only bill wise we are doing now.
Okay.
Save it.
Okay.
Thereafter,
Okay.
step number 2 or a second step what we have to follow. So you should go to respective party ledger. So using which party name we pass a transaction. So because while doing a credit transactions only we'll make the use of party ledgers, right? So we want billwise also while using the credit transactions only. Now assume I'll change the date. I'm passing transaction on 31st October. So here you can see that 31st October will go for the purchases. Assume we're buying from the Tata company. I'm taking a Tata company ledger here. Now we should drill down into the ledger Tata and company. Step number 2. So you to come up to here, I'll tell you what to do next. Give the supply invoice number, date, and select the Tata and company as a party. That's all. Pause there.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, now we should drill down. Step number 2, as you saw in the notes, in the party ledger, we have to perform the option that is maintain balances bill by bill. We have to enable this. So drill down by doing control enter on the party ledger, enable the option maintain balances bill by bill.
Okay, sir.
Enable that option and save it. So by default it will be enabled once we enable in the F11 feature, and accept and place a cursor here and pause. Step number 2 is done. Step number 3, go to F12 configuration, and here we should not enable, we should disable the option use default bill wise details for bill allocation. This need to be disabled. It's already disabled. So these 3 steps we have to follow. Now disable this. This option is already no. Just save it. You to perform this action.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
Done up to here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, save it now. Control A. Control A. Now we can take a purchase ledger, and I'm passing a purchase transaction what we can buy from Tata and company. Okay, we take Tata tea powder. So we'll take in kgs and we'll save it. So create the new stock item Tata tea powder. Take units as kgs. Control
Yes,
A,
sir.
and now enter bill. You will get an item allocation, tracking number not applicable, order number not applicable. Take a godown. We purchase into the Mahadevpura godown. Assume we are purchasing 140 quantities of tea powder or 140 kgs of tea powder. So what will be the cost of tea powder? 1 kg tea powder will be how much? You have idea per Cody?
So 360, sir.
350. Okay, 350. We are entering 350 and you can enter. Now don't record the entry with me. Take a pause here. Look at display. I entered the quantities, rate, and I entered the amount. Enter. Now you know we can save the transaction by entering narration. It will become a normal transaction. Now what is the billwise details? How do we get that feature in our entry and how to use that feature in our entry? Now as you saw, we made 3-step configurations. What will happen? So after total amount below, if you do enter, you'll get a new window called billwise details. So this is the new window we'll get, billwise details. So to get this window only, we made the configurations of 3 steps. So now you record and place the cursor on the total like this. Don't save the entry. I'll let you know what is next. Now give the quantities by taking the proper go down and place cursor on the total amount.
Okay, sir.
Look at display now. Now if I do enter after total, yes, the new screen you can see billwise details, and you can see there we have the number of columns, type of reference, name, due date or a credit days, amount, and we have the signs, debit or credit sign. Now I explained you already the the 4 references I explained you. Now you can see advanced we have, new we have, against we have, on account we have. Now we can take a respective reference here. Now you tell me what reference we have to select here. What reference we have to select here? I explained you what
New
is
reference,
advance,
sir.
what is new, what is against, what is on account.
As a new reference.
Yeah, we should take a new reference because it is a new bill, purchase bill, which is a new bill, which is not be passing against any particular previous bills. Simple. New reference you have to take. And if Tata company given any credit period to us, if they given that you have to make a payment within 7 days, within 10 days, so you can enter number of days here. So entering 7 days. Now transaction date is 31st October and due date to make a payment will be 7th November. So you can enter the number of days due. So, or you can say credit period or credit days. So they given the credit days 7 days, enter 7 days and enter and give the narration. So do this configuration now. Select the new reference and give the proper days and give the narration. And save the entry. Done up to here?
Just a minute. Yeah, sir. It was done, sir.
Yeah, save it. So this is how you can take a new reference for the all the new bills where we not track any previous bills in these transactions. So you saw this. Next we'll see that we'll make a payment on the next day. On 1st November we'll make a payment against the purchase. I'll take a payment F5. Assume we're making a cash payment. I'll take Tata and Company. Listen carefully now. So here, okay, before going to the further, when you make a cash payment to any particular parties, you can see you're getting the billwise screen here. After ledger, you're getting billwise screen. So we have the option here. So bill wise details if you want to get after party or after amount. So for that also we have configurations to be performed. I'll tell you that configurations. Now in the settlement transactions, like in the payment or a receipt transactions, if you want to get a bill wise detail screen, what configuration we have to perform or what configurations we have to do, that we can see here. So enabling bill wise details to get bill wise detail screen in receipts, payments and journals. So first scenario, that is if bill wise detail screen needed before giving amount manually. So if before giving amount, if you want a bill wise detail screen, what to do? Before giving amount manually, if you want to get a bill wise detail screen, what to do? It means that this one only, as I told you, after selecting party, now cursor is not going to amount, directly we getting bill wise screen. If you want to get like this bill wise screen, we have to perform the two configurations. That is, one is step 1 in party ledger, enable the option maintain balances bill by bill. That we already performed in Tata and company ledger, we enabled the option maintain balances bill by bill. Step 1. Step 2, what we have to do? In F12 configurations, we have to enable the option pre-allocate bills for payment, receipts and journals. This need to be enabled. Pre-allocate bills for payments, receipts and journals need to be enabled. I'll go to F12 configuration, we'll enable the option. You can see it's already enabled by default. In case if disabled manually, we have to come back and we have to enable pre-allocate bills for payment, receipt and journals. These two steps we have to perform to get a bill wise screen before amount. In case if you don't want before amount, you want to give amount manually, then you want bill wise screen. Just step number 2, you should disable pre-allocate bills for payment, receipt, journals, make it no, disable. Now after party, cursor will go to amount. Once you enter the amount, then you'll get a bill wise screen. This is only the changes you have to do. If you want bill wise details before amount, enable the pre-allocate bills options. In case if you want the bill wise detail screen after the amount, then disable the option pre-allocate bills. That's all. Is this clear to you?
Okay.
Same thing I'm given in the steps in the notes as well to you. First scenario and second scenario. I want bill wise screen before giving amount manually. I want bill wise screen after giving amount manually. For this, what need to be performed? Two steps I showed you, and same steps are given in the notes as well. Now you record with me the transaction of payment. Come to the payment. Now we have to make a payment to Tata company. So in Tata company ledger, we already enabled the bill wise details. Step 1 is done. Step 2, go to F12 configuration and enable the option pre-allocate bills for payment, receipts and journals to get the bill wise detail screen before amount. So we'll make a cash payment. I'll take a cash ledger. Under particulars, I can select the party Tata and company. You to perform the same and enter, you will get bill wise details screen.
Here against reference, sir, because we are creating the reference already.
Yeah, so here what we have to take the reference?
Against reference.
Yes, against reference, because against the purchase what we recorded, we are making a payment. This is not any advance payment we are doing, right? It's a payment against the purchases. Yes. So because of that, select the against reference. Once you select the against reference, you can see you will get all pending bills, all the pending bills recorded with the party name Tata and company. So we have only one pending bill. Track the bill. If you want to make a fully payment, you can just track and do enter. It'll become the full settlement. Or if you want to make a partial settlement, so sometimes we can't do a full settlement. You can do partial settlement also. Assume that today I'm making only 20,000 settlement. I'll take 20,000 here. I'll do enter. So remaining 29,000 will be outstanding. Even you can do that also. Partial or fully, just track the bill and modify the amount if you want to do a partially. If you do a fully, just it will auto capture the full amount. So now we'll do partial settlement. I'll take 20,000. And you can see it showing the credit period also. 7 days till time is there, till 7th November we have a time. Enter, end of list. Give the narration. So record the transaction now and give the narration.
Okay.
Yes, save the transaction. So this is how we can use the Agnist reference. Once you save and if you do page up, you can see the reference details here also. Now
Okay.
we came to know how to use new reference and how to use Agnist reference. Now onwards, for every transactions we'll use the billwise details. It will make you perfect in the selection of the references. Don't worry. Now we'll see the another reference. For example, we'll see a advanced reference. Now assume on 2nd November we are making a receipt, advance receipt. Nothing but one of our customer making a payment to us. We are receiving from them. They making a cash payment to us. Assume that the Manoj supermarket. So they making a payment of advance to us. So when they make a payment of advance, we should take a advance reference. So they making a payment of advance amount of, for example, 20,000, not 20,000, we'll take 15,000. 15,000 for a specific goods. Assume that they want to buy from us Tata tea powder. So for that they making a advance payment. Assume, for example, 20 kgs they want to buy. Okay, fine. We'll do one thing. We'll make a sale for 400. So they want to buy, for example, 38 kgs. So for that they're making a payment of advance 15,000. So here they paying a advance to us and they booking that I want to buy in future. For that I'm making a payment today. So they making a payment to us, we making a receipt. So now they made a payment in advance. So we taken the reference as an advance reference. You got here?
Yes.
Yeah, now narration. Received advance from the Manoj supermarket for tea powder. Received advance from Manoj supermarket for Tata tea powder. I'm given here. Enter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, saved. Now this is the advance. Finally, so we are not sure in the transaction whether it is a new reference or Agnist reference or advance. As I told example, assume I'm the new accountant in a company. One of the person made a payment and he told to report to so and so manager. He made a payment and he went by collecting the receipt from my hand, and he not clearly updating us against the which bill number. He just reporting that just update your manager, and he left the office. Now we are not clear whether he making a payment of advance or against any previous bill, etc. Then you can take a on account. So here we'll pass another
Okay.
transaction, cash receipt happening from, for example, Star Supermarket, but we don't know against what it's happening, or we don't know whether it's advance. Then take on account, take the amount how much you made a payment, 10,000 for example, and you can save it. Enter the narration, payment made by Star Supermarket, but not sure against what bill. That you can make a narration. Or you can write receipt made from, payment happened by them, receipt happened from so and so party. Also you can take receipt from so receipt from Star Supermarket, but not sure against what bill. So because of that we take an on account. You save it.
Okay, sir.
Save it. So this is how we can use the four references in the bill-wise details. So we'll pass some more transactions tomorrow, and we'll use these references in all the transactions. Then we'll see that how the particular trackings are happening in other transactions as well, and how we can get a report of outstandings, and how do we get the report of the credit days and amount due, etc. These are all things. Up to here, is it clear?
Sir?
Up to here, is it clear to you?
Yeah, sir, it is clear.
Okay, fine then. So you can save the all the transactions. So that's all for the day. The remaining part will take care tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you. If you don't have any questions for the day, you can leave for the day.
No more doubts, sir. It was clear.
Okay. You can leave for the day. Thank you then.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you, sir.